Entrepreneurs. 6 p.m. every Tuesday. Let's get into it. This is the agenda. Everybody knows what that is. They can all read. There's pizza after this. It's great. If you have not yet, please text CPE to 56955. That's 56955 CPE, please. If you have not yet, it gives you all our lovely updates about the speakers that are coming in for meetings and any big events that we have going on throughout the quarter. I'll leave that for just one extra second. Cool. Moving on, we also have our own website, cpentrepreneurs.com. You can find anything and everything having to do with the club on there, any resources, things for like pitch decks, anything that you want to use that we use either in the club or that you learn from meetings will be up on that website. Next up, if you are looking to get more involved with the club as well, you can ask to join the associates. Where's Sierra? Sierra's right there. Raise your hand, Sierra. That's our lovely president. She's taking over the associates for this quarter. So if you have any questions, talk to her or any of the other members from that. Yes.
Yeah, just to add, so about halfway through the quarter, we will also be interviewing for officer positions.
Ooh,
so as Jack explained, oh, okay.
Yeah,
oh, well,
I have a slide for that.
Go.
It's actually right here. So if you would like to realize all the dreams that you've been having about being an entrepreneur or even a CPE officer, now is you're about to have that opportunity. So we don't have a deadline set for any interviews yet. That's something that we're actually working on, I'm pretty sure, right? Yes, so we will have more information for you on that, but we have a bunch of different officer positions, anywhere ranging from 10 to sometimes 12, but on the low end 8, that cover a wide variety of different skill sets that you can not only learn on the job, but also things that you may already be good at that you can help boost the club with. So we'll have more information on that shortly, but I wanted to throw that out there because that's starting this quarter. Cool. And also, membership, that's a thing. If you have, or back up for 1 sec. Sorry, it's a new quarter. Let me get all this straight away. For only $25, you get all of these amazing perks that are right here. We're starting this new program where you can become a VIP member that gives you a bunch of things like 15% off any big events that we have, like Startup Weekend, like tours, and also priority registration for those types of things. You also get a dope t-shirt right there. Yes.
Also, if you haven't picked up your shirt from last quarter, they're in the hatchery.
Yes.
So let me know and we'll grab it for you.
Yes. Talk to any of us and you'll get your shirt if you were unable to get that last quarter. Cool. And what is next? The hatchery. The hatchery is a great place to network and start up your own things. Just doing some quick advertising. If you have an idea or you don't have one, but you're wanting to work on your own entrepreneurship startup, things like that, or you just want to try it out, the hatchery is a great place to start, especially to network with other people. Everyone there is really hardworking and driven, and always have great ideas flowing around. So it's a great place to start off and actually kickstart into our next topic, which is Innovation Quest. So how many of you have heard of Innovation Quest? Okay, cool. That's about a third of you. Innovation Quest is a super cool opportunity to raise money for any idea for either a product or a business that you have. So I want to stress that really quickly. It's for products and businesses. So if you have an innovative idea for something like a shoebox or something, this is somewhere where you can pitch that. It might not be a business plan that's going to become a unicorn, but it might start a lifestyle business or be an invention that gets patented and makes a lot of money. That's what this specifically is for, jumpstarting any entrepreneurial ideas that you have. The top 3 teams get awarded grant money. First place getting $15,000, second place getting 10, and third place getting 5. Occasionally they also give money out to some of the best pitches, and generally that's like a 4th place type of deal, around $1,000 too, so still a decent amount of money. And you can do with that what you will. Most people spend it on their businesses, but I mean, that's a lot of beer if you want that. Cool. The workshops, one of them is actually going to be in here on January 29th, and the other one for a meeting, and then the other one is going to be on March 7th. The sooner that you go to a workshop, the better chance you have at getting to know the person who runs it, Tom Patona, and also knowing what the requirements are for turning in an application for it. Cool. I think that's all I have to say on that. Now we have some trivia. Alistair?
Sweet. Good to be back, guys. So, can anybody tell me the biggest tech news in St. Louis Obispo in the past month?
Sale of my body.
Yeah, okay, sweet. I like it. Right off the bat. Can anybody tell me how much? Yeah.
1.9 billion.
Yeah. So that's pretty impressive.
It is very impressive, $1.9 billion.
Thanks, guys.
Tech company. Sounds good.
You did good out
Yeah. Okay, cool. So now I have the great opportunity to announce our speaker. I've known him for a very long time. I consider us good friends. Even if, yeah, that's a very good word for it. I've worked alongside him for the CIU. Please give it up for Alex Littlewood.
What's up, everybody? This all came together a little bit last minute, so this is hasty, but hopefully you'll enjoy. You're gonna have to see my horrendous desktop for a moment here.
Yeah, I will.
All right, so I'm Alex. I'm the founder of a company called Motoroso. I'm a Cal Poly grad. I went to graduated from Northwood College of Business in '05. And so what this is going to be a little bit of kind of like combining presentations, because I obviously didn't in 2 days have time to like prepare something special for you. So I pretty much just combined a bunch of presentations I've done before. So I'm gonna race through like what my career path was, and then we'll linger more. Wow, this is a little. Which one did you say?
Oh,
Down.
that was the down button, which is weird. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'll race through my like career path and how I sort of got to starting my own company, because I think that's what's going to be most interesting to you guys. And then I put my pitch deck in here, and I'm going to demo my startup pitch. That's always been when I've pitched any entrepreneur groups, they want to see what's a good pitch look like. And I've won a few pitch competitions, so I think it's okay. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm just saying people tell me it's good. So, like I mentioned, I went to Cal Poly. Before that, I grew up in the Silicon Valley, but I'm actually an immigrant. I came to the United States when I was 2 years old from the UK, but I was fortunate enough to grow up in the Silicon Valley. So when I was growing up in the Silicon Valley, Intel was still an orchard, literally an apple orchard, and I used to ride my bike through there, and then I watched that building grow, watched the whole valley become what it is, and I actually got real firsthand insight into what made the Silicon Valley, what made it great. And my opinions on that, which I'll spare you right now, are actually that a tremendous amount of that has actually been lost. And we're starting to see that in almost every other place. And Silicon Valley is pretty much unbearable to me at this point. A big reason I left, a big reason I moved here to San Luis Obispo. I decided to build my company here. But take that for what it's worth. So nothing special. I went to public high school. My dad could have easily afforded to kind of, buy me a bunch of stuff, but instead he decided to teach me work ethic. He came to me when I was 15 and said, "What kind of car do you want?" I knew exactly what I wanted, because I'm a car guy, as you'll find out. And I told him I wanted a GTI, I want a lowered Wolfsburg edition. He's like, "Great, get a job." So I got my first job at 15. Who here's been like working, like not at your mom's company or something, but working, like had a hard job? Good. That's why you're in this room. That's why you're in the entrepreneurship club. And that is extremely valuable. And I'm really glad to see that many hands go up. And so I went to community college because I didn't get good enough grades in high school because I was working, to go straight to Cal Poly, but I always knew I wanted to come here. So I actually went to West Valley, did a couple of internships while I was in the Bay Area, went to Weston Community College, and then transferred into Cal Poly, graduated in '05. And while I was here, I studied marketing and finance, and I was the president of the CPE AMA. Anybody in the American Marketing Association? Nope, no crossover there, okay. All right. And while I was in school, I worked full-time. There was a sporting goods store downtown called Copeland Sports, and I managed the bike shop there because it gave me a discount on bike parts, and I raced mountain bikes in the summer, raced snowboards with the Alpine team in the winter. Also did an internship at a company called Landor, and then when I graduated, I went on to, I'll skip through to my career path on the second slide here. So right out of college, I went to a company called Velasys. Giant company. One of the biggest, most important things I learned at that company is I fucking hate big companies. It was like being a number, and it was this big company. It didn't have any soul. It was dreadful. it really wasn't that bad, but it did not feel right to me. And that was the first time I knew that I needed to be in small companies, small teams, where the work that I did makes an impact. And so I went to a small advertising agency called Littlewood Agency back in the Bay Area that focused on technology, something I cared about. They focused on branding for technology companies. I got to work with brands like Microsoft, Intel, other lifestyle brands outside of tech like Adidas or Walmart, and do branding work. And very few companies have as big a branding challenge as Walmart. So it was actually really good, interesting, challenging work. But then I got the itch to go into tech, and I joined my first startup, and it was a steaming turd. And I got to learn how not to run a company. And it was, it's going to happen in your careers. If you join other people's companies, you're going to join one that is not what you end up thinking it is. That doesn't mean it was a mistake, doesn't mean it wasn't valuable. You get to learn from every single one of those experiences. So I make fun of them, but I learned quickly how to evaluate companies a little bit better. And I did better and went to a company called Zuberance, where I was the 13th employee, and I got like about 0.5% of stock. And I came in as a customer success manager, which meant my job was to work with the customers of the company to help them adopt and stay with the software, right? So it's about retention. So we're an extension of the sales department. Many of you, if you go join other companies, will be in a role very, very similar to this. This is one of the most important roles in a tech company, is to make sure that when somebody buys that software, that they don't lapse, they don't go away, that they stay on a recurring subscription, right? And so learned a lot there, grew into be the senior director of customer success, but the founder of that company we raised $22 million between 2008 and 2011. Anybody remember what the economy was like in 2008?
Not great.
The worst it's ever been in American history. So it was a really tough time to raise money. He managed to raise $22 million between 2008 and 2011. So he was a good salesman, and he was a terrible CEO. And he pissed away all of our money on, well, I'll spare you the gory details, but he wasted our money. At one point, he put on an event in New York that he spent over $150,000 just for one night in a fancy hotel with and it went as far as he hired strippers to come in, and it was ridiculous. And it was very uncomfortable and a bad situation, and he drove the company into the ground. 70% of the company got fired on one day, were laid off. So learned a little bit more about what not to do there. And that was 4 years of my career. So it was a lot of time invested. I was very passionate about the product, excited, hoping we would make it, and got to learn how to not spend money when you're a founder. Then I went to a company called Wildfire, and this was probably one of the best experiences of my career. The team, it was a female-founded company. She had built an incredible culture, and they were building the right thing at the right time. And one of the most important lessons I took away outside of how to build a good company culture here was how important timing is in startups. We were building a marketing platform for Facebook at a time when social media marketing wasn't actually even a term, if you can comprehend that. I realize that might be challenging today. It really wasn't. It wasn't always a thing. And so we built this big thing, and it was at the right time. And we had a couple major competitors, and we got bought by Google for $450 million. So I got to go through that process of a major acquisition by a major tech company. Literally, after they let the multicolored balloons up and said we're acquired by Google, they came through the door with fresh baked cookies and immediately embarked on their mission of making us fat, which they were extremely successful at, because I worked at Google for a little while. I worked at Google for 4 months. I was the first person to quit post-acquisition and move on to Picora, and I gained 18 pounds in 4 months. Ridiculous. It's a trap. It is a trap. It is absolutely a trap. I'm pretty sure they pump calories into the air. really, really not good. So I went over to Picora where what was really appealing about this was Picora was building a Pinterest marketing tool that I recognized could become like wildfire for Pinterest, right? And what was really powerful about Pinterest, and still is that Pinterest is extremely weighted towards a female user base. I mean, women control 80% of consumer spending in the United States. So here's an opportunity to build a marketing platform where you can actually measure real ROI, which was one of the biggest challenges we always had at Wildfire. So went over there, spent about a year there, and what happened was I got exposed to Pinterest marketing and analytics, and I was using a website called house.com to remodel the home that I had purchased in the Silicon Valley. And when I realized, hey, wow, we really need Pinterest plus house.com for automotive, and I'm a huge car and motorcycle enthusiast, that idea kept me awake at night. And that was when I knew that I was going to start my own company. Once that idea bubbled up, within 3 weeks, I had resigned from Picora, started Motoroso, founded the company, and embarked on the mission of what today is, well, I'll tell you what we've accomplished. But any questions about my career? That was extremely rapid, and I would normally share a little bit more about each job, but I was trying to give you the bullet points.
What was your favorite, or which one did you learn most from?
Motoroso, hands fucking down.
Or before that?
Gosh, probably Liquid, to be honest. Like, I love that company, and the founders are good friends of mine now, and I had the most fun there. Definitely learned the most that has been useful in my startup career at Wildfire. All right, so a couple of just sort of milestones to share with you. We launched the beta version of Motoroso in 2015, but I started the company in early 2014. So it took about a year of ideating, designing, writing code to launch the beta version of the software. And when it went live, one of the things that I was really honest with myself about is that the business model that we were planning and that we had for Motoroso, which you'll learn more about, and this will all start to make a bit more sense for you, was not going to be something that we were going to be able to get funding for until we had traction. Because just in case anyone in this room is confused or deluded about what it means to start a company and then get venture funding it used to be, maybe 10 years ago, you could have a good idea, go pitch it really, really well and sell it to somebody, and they would invest in your company to build your idea. That is gone. 100% gone. The bar for creating an MVP product, getting into market, proving a proof of concept, getting user growth traction, or even revenue is so low compared to what it used to be 10 years ago, it's the new minimum. Okay? So if any of you are like, I think I have an idea and I want to go pitch it to investors, stop right there. Your only job is to build a product, prove it out, get revenue or users, then go raise money. Now, you might be able to get friends, family, or fools to give you a little bit of cash, and I did. But if you really want to raise actual money, you must have traction. So I recognized that early on. And in order to make sure that Motoroso could do that, I sold the house that I had renovated in the Silicon Valley. And I took the cash from that to invest into the company and build the future of the business. So I really went all in, and I gambled everything to build the company that I'm building. And it's all still on the line. We were very fortunate, though. The day that I closed escrow on selling my house, we got accepted to Techstars. Who knows what Techstars is? Good. That's a much better response than the last time I asked this. So yeah, the rest of you, please go check out Techstars and other startup accelerator programs. So how many people understand, I know the people who know Techstars do, but does everybody understand the concept of a startup accelerator? Okay, so an accelerator, that was fewer hands than new Techstars, by the way. So Techstars, accelerators basically take young companies, put a little bit of money in, and then they surround you with business development, mentorship, guidance, and they help you accelerate your business in a very, very short period of time. And they're usually about 12 weeks. Techstars is the world's first startup accelerator, the world's largest accelerator network, and one of the most elite startup programs in the country. And I applied 3 times, and we finally got in on the 3rd application. So Just a stat for you guys, Y Combinator, so they're also huge and probably the best, not the most elite, but the best. And Techstars, AngelPad, 500 startups. The average company that gets into those programs applies 2.5 times. Okay, so what's the lesson from that? Keep applying, keep trying. If you really want to be in, they like it when they see it a second time, right? If you get in on the first one, something's awesome about it, which is great. So we got into Techstars. The year that we applied, there were 36,000 applications and 100 companies were selected, and my company was one of them. So, and it was our third time applying. So really, I thought I was proud of getting into Cal Poly, as I'm sure all of you are. I was really proud of getting into Techstars, and that's why I have the tattoo on my. So after Q2 2016, we passed 250 brands, and then we launched the beta version of a part of our software that we called Motoroso for Professionals. So this was something that we were kind of banking the future of the company on, but when we launched it, it basically face planted. We spent 6 months trying to make that work, and it was a SaaS software product, and I'll spare you all the reasons why it didn't work, but I got to swallow the pill of that not working. And along with that pill came having to let my entire team go and running out of money. And so I got to then go figure out what was next. So I actually launched a equity crowdfunding campaign, and Motoroso was one of the first 500 companies in the United States to do an equity crowdfunding campaign. And we successfully raised $87,000, so not exactly like, bank-breaking cash, but enough to keep going and figure out what our next step was. And our next step was to build the marketplace. And so as we've been building, we signed a strategic deal last year with a company called Channel Advisor, which I'll talk a little bit about. And that was the moment that triggered all the investor interest that has come to Motoroso in that time. And so in late Q2 of 2018, we raised a little over $800,000, bringing Motoroso's total funding to $1.1 million. And we have a little over $600,000 in the bank as we speak right now. And our burn rate is just under $25K a month, which means that we have about 24 months of runway to figure this thing out and make this thing work. And the marketplace is a big part of that, which I won't go into now. But just a couple of stats for us. We've attracted now over 350 official brand profiles, which means the social media manager at companies like Ford and Ducati have a Motoroso login. They log into our website, they upload content, and you'll understand what I'm talking about in a moment, but real brands use our website. And they've uploaded over 60,000 images and tagged them with interactive markers using our technology. We've powered the interactive technology experience at SEMA. SEMA is the largest trade show in our industry, and it's the third largest trade show in the world. 1.5 million square feet of exhibition space. It takes up literally every square foot of exhibition space that's available in Vegas, and then some. And they trust our technology to power interactive touchscreens in their booth, which is huge, huge for us, and a testament to what we've built. And then we were chosen as the official interactive content platform of the Detroit Auto Show in 2017, which was also very cool and helped us with that Weed Funder campaign. So, again, I raced through all that. There are so many stories on that, including I had a co-founder at the beginning. We split up. That was like getting a divorce, worse than getting a divorce. I lost my team more than just that one time, ran out of money more than once. I'm sure there's other awful shit in there, and usually the horror stories are what people want to hear and what I think they should hear, right? Because the horror stories help it so that when you go start your companies, all of you are going to have problems. It's like literally that's the way. In fact, great book. Make a note. There's a book called The Obstacle is the Way, and you should read it and use it to condition how you think about the challenges that you're going to face in life and in your career, because it's extremely helpful. All right, so now I can do my pitch if everybody wants to see what Motoroso is all about and what a startup pitch looks like. And this is kind of coached by Techstars. But before I do, actually, anybody want to ask questions about some of the background of the company? Oops. Let one get out of the back.
How many employees do you have now?
Technically, 0. But we have 3 full-time 1099 contractors, including myself. I know that sounds weird. but it's often easier to do it that way in the early days from a corporate structure standpoint and a tax reporting standpoint. And then we have several interns and several part-time contractors. So I'd say total, like actively touching Motoroso right now, 8.
How hard is it to contact and network with these bigger brands?
Hard.
Ford and Ducati and stuff?
Hard.
For the first
Yeah.
couple, the hardest?
Absolutely. Just like raising venture money, the first check is the hardest. Just like getting somebody to use your software, the first sign up is the hardest. Yeah, a lot of perseverance. Being what you would think is irritating.
Is it profitable for them?
No. Will be.
What ways have you tried to actively appeal to your market?
Is there a checkbox for every? What ways have I actively tried to appeal to my market? Only one. Listen to them. So I listen to what people want and need, and then I develop something, and then I share it with as many people as will look at it, and I get their feedback, and then I iterate on it. I build what people want and need, and when the feedback is good, you move in that direction. When the feedback is bad, you evaluate why, make changes, and then try again.
So to find your testers, do you just like cold call them? Or do you like know people in the industry and you go up and like,
Sometimes you gotta just tackle them in the hallway. Yeah, no, you just like literally just get in front of people as many ways as you can. Sometimes it's phone calls and demos. The first time I went to SEMA, I walked around with an iPad. There's so many good stories about my first trip to SEMA. I'll avoid a detour, but I walked around the show floor with an iPad, just with a few pictures of the designs of what I thought I was gonna build. Because it was like a month and a half into everything, and I'd done through a bunch of designs and didn't have a software developer or a co-founder yet. So I just went around with pictures, and for 4 days in an extremely loud and busy environment with people who've never seen me before, went to every single booth, said, hey, who's your marketing / social media person here? And then foisted myself upon them to listen to me talk about what I wanted to build, show them pictures, and then just made notes of what they said. And I left there more excited than when I showed up because the feedback that I got was very good. And I mean, sure, some people told me to fuck off, and some people told me I was wasting their time, and some people told me I was an idiot for even trying to build what I was trying to build, but more people told me that it was a good idea, and about 5% of people told me I was a genius, that they'd never heard of anything like it, and it definitely needs to exist, and if you build it, we want in right away. If I'd had one of those, that would have been enough for me, but I had more than that. It was really good. It gave me the energy to start.
Yeah, what was your plan B after selling your home?
Go back to being a gigolo? I don't know. There's something over here.
Oh,
Sorry, I will honestly answer that. That was super honest. If my company didn't or doesn't work out, there's no guarantees this is still going to work out. So I'm 38 right now. I don't look it. Thank you. I'm 38 right now. So if 2 years from now my company has not worked out, it's probably going to be time to throw in the towel. So if that happens, I'll be 40 and I will have nothing. Right now, what does nothing mean in our bubbly world that we live in? Just no money and no things, right? Okay, but I have my health, I have a shitload that I've learned, I got my family, I got friends, I got network, I got experience that I've gained. And so I have everything I need, right? That's a mentality that one must have if you're gonna embark on any of this. And so if Motoroso failed 2 years from now and I'm 40 flat years old and got shit, I would go get a sales job that maximizes the potential of my earnings, like commercial sales of like complex sales of commercial equipment, where if I close one deal, I can make like $500,000. And I would go hustle my ass off in that sales job, work 5 times harder than everybody else, get cash, and then do it again. Start another company. So if anybody's like, I want to start a company, but I don't have shit and nobody's going to help me, what should you do? Go get a sales job. Sales is the best paying job you can possibly have as far as earning potential because it's limitless. Sales jobs let you earn as much. It's your work and your study and your application to your skill that lets you earn a maximum amount of money. Differentiate companies that, God damn, this is a hard question. Companies fail for all kinds of reasons. One of the most popular reasons you're going to hear about is co-founder splits. Right? When two people start a company together and then they have a fight and they depart, that kills more companies than anything else. Okay? But if I give you one answer, what makes the difference? It's perseverance. The companies that succeed and really make it, they stick with it, they never give up. They might pivot, they might change, but they keep going. That's absolutely the number one variable. So when my company ran out of money and I had no team and it was just me and I was 36 years old sleeping on my mom's boyfriend's couch for Christmas, I had to make those decisions. Do I quit? Do I go get that sales job and just make some money and then try another company later on? Or do I keep going? And so for me, the decision was not a hard one. It was absolutely keep going. Because your company, your baby, your thing that you're building, whatever it is, only dies when you stop. It only dies when you actually throw in the towel on it. And that's simple, but not easy. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, companies do run out of money. I mean, like, so a company, it depends what stage you're at too. I could go on for a long time talking about the difference, but the number one thing is perseverance. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, you gotta stick it out. And I mean, you just gotta eat shit for years. Oh, here's a good point. Who can tell me how old Airbnb is? Close. It's 12 years old.
I was gonna say, I don't know the number, but it's when he found some people who were lost in the area and offered for them to sleep on his mattress.
That was actually the genesis of the company, right? So this was, they were working on another company and they were so broke as co-founders, they were like, hey, people are coming into town for a conference. You think we could just like, and all the hotels are sold out, you think we could just like sell somebody on Craigslist, like a spot on our floor on an air mattress and get a little cash to make sure we don't go homeless and pay our rent and eat? That was a company born out of a personal need that they then realized, wow, this is a company. But most people don't realize that Airbnb is 12 years old. How long has Airbnb been big and growing? Between 4 and 5 years. They floundered for like 6+ years. Like literally, people were begging them to give up. They're like, no one's gonna sleep on someone else's couch for money. Right? You're crazy, which that's what people told them. You're insane. It's never going to work. No one's going to go stay at someone stranger's house. And today, it's assumed. Today, it's become a thing. So you should read the case studies about what actually made that work. And they'll talk about like the things that they did or the things they discovered or whatever. But who wants to tell me what made that work?
Believe.
What?
Believe in the company.
Sure. Yeah, close. What made it work? They did. They fucking made it work. They figured it out. And they stuck with it when everybody told them they were insane and they weren't making money, they were running out of money, and now that when they IPO, holy shit, it's gonna be the biggest tech IPO we're ever gonna see. Well, maybe not ever gonna see, but will be the biggest to date. The number of Ubers flying around right now is 90 billion is what they're going to IPO at. And Facebook was 100. So I think I was assuming they would be bigger, but thank goodness they're eating shit right now because they deserve to. Not a good company. Be a good company, by the way. Don't be dirty. Uber's dirty. Don't use them. Use Lyft, by the way. All right, anything else about background stuff? Okay, cool. And we got like 10 minutes. All right, so this is about a 7-minute pitch. I haven't done it since Startup Weekend, so that's pretty recent. Who was at Startup Weekend?
Yeah, Startup Weekend is Techstars,
I don't need to do this.
by the way.
You guys all, did you guys come to the pitch workshop?
Yeah.
How many people saw me pitch at the pitch workshop? It's like almost half.
Oh, do it anyway.
Have someone else do it for you.
No.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. So I will do it for the folks in the room. Hopefully, it's valuable. I have a couple of T-shirts. I'm gonna give 2 away. I want a female and a male, please, to do a 1-minute pitch. I'm gonna have you stand up wherever you're sitting. So get ready to do your 1-minute pitch. And yes, I'm going to judge. And then I have stickers over here for your laptops and your cars and business cards for later. All right, so Motoroso is a market network website for automotive and power sports enthusiasts to plan, build, and share their dream vehicle projects. Our name, Motoroso, is a combination of the word motor and the Spanish word amoroso, which means to love. And I love cars and motorcycles, and I always have. This is a picture of me and my father. This metal thing on the table in front of us is part of an airplane that we built in our home garage and later flew across country. And from the look on my face, might also be the very moment that I fell in love with speed. And I went on to become one of the 40 million Americans for whom automotive and power sports is not a hobby, but a lifestyle. And we spend $80 billion a year on our passion. And there's 40,000 service providers out there just desperate to take our money. But the problem that we see is that there are no platforms out there that adequately bring us together as one community. It's actually far worse than that. There's tens of thousands of different websites, blogs, forums, and generic marketplaces that we have to go hunting for what we need. And it's way more complicated than we think it needs to be. Motoroso combines content, community, and commerce into a single platform that helps enthusiasts find ideas and inspiration, connect with peers in their community, purchase the products that they need and hire the service providers to help them, and then share their projects back into the community by uploading photos and videos, joining conversations, and writing reviews about the products and service providers that they've worked with. Essentially, we are house.com for car enthusiasts. So the way someone uses Motoroso is they'll come to our Pinterest-style visual search where they can plop in a term like Mustang. And because our brains process images 60,000 times faster than text, we can quickly find that red 65 fastback that we've always admired. Now we can engage with that image through an interactive layer of content that has been tagged and curated by the contributor. And now we can find out what products actually went into making that build what it is. From there, we can click through to a marketplace where we can compare sellers and purchase that product at a fair price. And then we can use the Find a Professional section of the site to find and hire the right service provider to help us with the project. And then we can share our own builds back into the community for everybody to take inspiration from. We launched this company in 2015, and I sold my house to fund the earliest days of the company, and then we were accepted into the Techstars Accelerator program. Fast forward to today, we've attracted over 350 brands. We've partnered with Ford at SEMA for the last 4 years in a row, and we were even chosen as the official interactive content platform of the Detroit Auto Show. But all this has been about building towards the launch of the most important product we can introduce, the Motoroso Marketplace, which when it goes live will be the world's first dedicated auto parts marketplace for the passionate automotive enthusiast community. And we're doing so through a partnership with Channel Advisor. Channel Advisor helped launch Jet.com, which later sold to Walmart for $3.3 billion, and they also helped launch Top Hat, which has raised over $30 million in venture capital. They bring to the table over 250 auto parts retailers and 1.2 million unique SKUs that can be listed on Motoroso, where when we help a consumer find and buy that product, we take a 10.9% commission and we never touch the product. For a deeper dive at that, on Motoroso, there will be 1.2 million products which come to us through our partnership with Channel Advisor. They are browsed by users who have come to our site through our own content, our users' content, search engine optimization, search engine marketing campaigns, and any other form of advertising we use to drive people into a shopping experience where they can then add products to their cart, check out with a credit card, then we distribute that order to the sellers who have listed that product on Motoroso. They fulfill, we take a commission, and we make money without ever touching the product. Now, a common question that we get is, why would anybody buy a product from Motoroso Marketplace when eBay and Amazon exist? Well, on the content and community side of things, eBay and Amazon aren't even in that game. We help people find ideas and inspiration higher in the funnel. They have to do that before they buy product. So we capture them at that higher level, and then we help them engage with their community. Now, of course, we all offer products, and you'd probably say, well, eBay and Amazon are going to trounce you with the selection and price of products. How are you going to keep up? That partnership with Channel Advisor. Those retailers that use Channel Advisor, they are already some of the best sellers on Amazon and eBay, and they'll be listing their products on Motoroso at or below the price that they sell it for on Amazon, because we charge a slightly lower commission rate, which allows them to lower their prices. And lastly, further downstream, Motoroso will offer an installer network, which is a game that Amazon and eBay will never get into. Now, we have competition. On the community side, it's the old school forums plus startups plus other well-established sites. And on the marketplace side, it's the big boys. But Motoroso is the only company in the space that bridges this gap in a very unique way to combine marketplace with community. And that gives us a very unique position in the market. Now, we are a lean but mean team. Myself, I have over 10 years of experience in startups in the Silicon Valley, and my co-founder, Matthew, has been software developer, self-taught since he was 13 years old, and he's our lead developer, also a Techstars alum. And our investor and advisor network is also incredible. Rick Stolmeyer, founder and CEO of MindBody, right here in San Luis Obispo, is on our advisory board and also an early investor in Motoroso, as well as Blake Irving, who's the recently retired CEO of GoDaddy. Between us, we have combined experience from some of the top tech companies in the world. And I moved my company here to San Luis Obispo because I love this area and I believe in this area. And I want to be close to the university, and I want to create opportunity and growth in this area. Now, our marketplace is launching right now in Q1 of 2019. And we're targeting a 1 to 5 ROI. And the money that we've raised is about investing in user acquisition. If we generate a 1 to 5 ROI, our goal is to hit our first, our goal is to hit our first $1 million in revenue in 2019. Now, I don't know what those unit metrics are going to look like. I don't know how much it's going to cost us to acquire customers, and I guarantee you that's not going to be profitable. But when we hit that first million, that'll give us the opportunity to raise a seed or a Series A round. And then from there, I don't know what the numbers are going to look like, but we will build our march towards achieving a 1% market share. If we can achieve a 1% market share, we will have $420 million in revenue. Now, if we hit $420 million in market share, profitable or not, I can imagine a good situation in which a media company might want to acquire Motoroso to get into the e-commerce game. I can imagine a better scenario where an auto parts retailer might want to acquire Motoroso to get into the marketplace game. And I can envision a best case scenario where incumbent marketplaces might want to acquire Motoroso to defend or grow their territory in the auto parts category. And I like thinking about all that stuff, and I like money, but right now the task at hand is growth. So we've been extremely lean. We've built everything I've shared with you today for under $300, or a little over $300,000. And this is what I would have said to investors. And we're raising $500,000 on a convertible note at a $5 million cap with a 20% discount. And we have $815,000 committed and closed. And because we're oversubscribed, none of you are allowed to invest in my company. That was it. That was just my. How many times do you guys want to guess I've practiced that? Somebody was closer over here, what'd you say?
1,000.
At least 1,000. Yeah. And that's why it looks natural. So all of you are going to pitch at some point, okay? Right? If you are in the startup world, if you're doing startups, you will have to pitch at some point, and you should. And I don't want to say there's nothing more important. Obviously, you have to be able to build this thing, but do not underestimate how important it is to be able to pitch your company. You have to be able to pitch it short, like you're going to do with the 1 minute thing. You have to be able to pitch it long and really give people detail. And it doesn't mean you have to tell everybody everything, okay? Who are my tech folks in here? Engineers, okay? You guys make this mistake, okay? This is not criticism, I'm just saying, know this. You're engineers, what do you want to do? You want to give them every fucking thing on the slide, right? It's like 1,000 bullet points, right? Not necessary. Right? You got to boil down the main messaging points and give them just enough to get them interested, give them an idea. And your goal from a pitch is that they want to know more. Your goal from a pitch is that they want to know more, come up to you afterwards and ask questions and potentially invest. There is no possible way you can ever communicate everything you need to somebody in a pitch. Don't try to do that. And this is a problem. You can go to any startup pitch competition and see people do it again and again and again and again. Everybody fucks this up, right? And then the second thing is, once you've boiled down your story and how it flows and why it's meaningful, why it matters, then you can practice your delivery, right? How do you want to come across? How do you want to emphasize? Now, I'm an extrovert. I'm particularly, I inflect a lot. But I also push myself to be a little bit more when I'm pitching. But I don't do so in a way that is scripted. How close would you say that was to what I delivered at Startup Weekend, percentage-wise?
94.
I would say probably closer to 98. Like, that is probably, I said, word for word, I probably said 98% of the same words in the same order on that. And the point is, that means it's extremely scripted, right? Why didn't I sound like a robot? Why didn't I sound scripted, unless some of you think I did? But why didn't I? Because I practiced it so many times, I got past that part. Because trust me, when I was on practice number 50, it sounded robotic, like I was saying the same thing. But there's a threshold you cross when you push to the other side where you then, the words are so natural that then all you're focusing on is how you deliver it. Okay? So hopefully that's valuable for you. Net, when you have a pitch, practice many times.
So when you give a pitch, right? Like a lot, I feel like myself too, like I think about what I'm gonna say next.
That's because you haven't practiced.
But do you just like think about what you're gonna do with your hand gestures instead of like what you're gonna like
Honestly, no, I don't think about a lot of things, in case you can't tell, but no, it's all just natural because I've gotten to the point where I know it so well. I know it so well. I haven't done it, when was Startup Weekend?
November.
Okay, so I haven't done that in 8 weeks. I haven't even looked at that slideshow in 8 weeks. And I was able to deliver it the exact same, because I spent so much time practicing and rehearsing that, is just permanently fucking ingrained in me. So the only thing I'm doing is just, I'm like, it's weird. It's almost like meditation. I'm not even really like there. I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking at all. I don't think. It's just happening. Yeah. That's when you know you've really memorized it and practiced it enough. And that might sound like a waste of time, right? And a lot of founders' objection to this during Techstars is that that's a waste of time. Man, I got to practice so many times. I got to build a company. I got to write code. I got to sell. When you invest that time in those first pitches, it pays dividends when you need to change your pitch later. So you can take it and morph it and move it a little bit. Now you're only memorizing a little bit more. But in that process of practicing and practicing and practicing and iterating and practicing, you are learning how to communicate your company. And I didn't say this before. Cannot understate how important it is that you be able to communicate what your company does in a very short period of time to people, because without it, you will not have any chances to do business development. You will not have any chances to fundraise. Because if you bore the snot out of people and rattle on about your company because you haven't thought about how to pitch it, people won't listen to you. And you need people to listen to you. Building a company is not because you like to build a thing and it's for you, it's so that you can sell it to a bunch of other people, right? And make money and get investors, right? So you have to be able to communicate what you do. And if you can't, you're dead. You're dead. I know I'm overly passionate about saying that, but I really want you to understand how passionately I feel about it.
What are some of the first questions that come back at you from investors? People you pitch to?
Yeah, God, there's a lot. Probably the most common question I ever got back from investors would always be, so, but is this really a big market? Like, is it a big market? Like, what's it doing? Is it growing? Is it shrinking? Because who in here is a car enthusiast? About 20% of the room. Pretty much an accurate reflection of the US driver landscape. Only 20% of US drivers are enthusiasts, right? The rest couldn't give a lesser fuck. Like, they can't wait for robot cars from Google, right? Because they don't want to own a car anymore, because cars are expensive and they're dangerous and you have to drive and you can't text while you're doing it, right? So 80% of US drivers, 10 years from now, are just going to be sitting in the back of cars doing fucking Pong or something, I don't know. And so it's, yeah, I just dated the shit out of myself, right? Actually, I did play Pong, like original Pong. Yeah, they'll be with VR goggles. Actually, your cars in the future, sorry, you're gonna get me on a tangent here, but your cars in the future are just gonna be like one big screen. You're not even gonna see the road. You're just gonna be moving around. It's just gonna be ads. And you're gonna either pay for the ride and watch what you want, or you're gonna ride for free and just get blasted with ads. That's what's gonna happen. Like Black Mirror. Yeah, and if you look away, it's gonna be like, please avert your eyes back to the screen. It'll stop the car, it'll kick you out. That's happening. That shit's happening. That's what's coming. That's what's coming. I spend a lot of time thinking about this. So, coming back to what you asked, right? So, why was that happening? That was happening to me because not everybody understands the segment that I'm serving, right? And I can show them all the data and numbers, but they're like, I don't really care about cars. So guess what? It turns out that when you're raising money for your company in the early days, if you don't have unit metrics, everybody knows what I mean by unit metrics, right? Like some sort of growth number, revenue, the things that matter. If they can't get behind your idea because they don't really care about it, they're not going to fucking invest in the company. So that I have 27 investors. Almost all. Some were just followers because their friend got excited about it and put money in, and then they also put money in. Like when Blake Irving invested, I got like 5 more investors because they're like, oh, Blake Irving, great. That happens. That first takes artists. He's a hardcore car enthusiast. I've pitched over 260 investors. And it took 230-ish, 232 to get my first yes. Right? So I got told no again and again and again and again, and I could do that 232 more times, but I won't. Right? And I got told, I shut down. And I mean, I'll be totally open with you guys right now. Sometimes that would make me so sad or mad, or, I mean, I've bawled over this company. Seriously, I've been like, what am I doing wrong, right? But
Congrats.
you keep going. No congratulations are in order, dude. I'm still in the negative. I mean, I'm in the deep work. Yeah, this is no guaranteed thing at all, not even fucking close. But just, we're over time, but you're all still sitting here. Nobody even left. Well, just a couple things for you. So, one of the coolest things that we're working on right now, Motoroso just leased 2,000 square feet of space down on Pacific and Carmel in downtown San Luis Obispo, and we are building a video production studio. This is a picture as of last night. I hired an executive producer from HBO who happened to live in Arroyo Grande, and we are launching Motoroso TV. And one of our main growth and marketing and user acquisition strategies is to create really cool content for the auto enthusiast community. And here's a shot of what we were shooting today. This is the Motoroso Mustang on set. This is our confidence monitor. And I want to show you, if the Wi-Fi is still connected, quick clip. Okay, while that's loading up. And so we have a need for some help. And if anybody is interested, I'm only going to do a short, this is an 11-minute video, everybody settle in. You're not going to be able to hear this. So basically, what I'm trying to show you is the caliber of content that we're going for. So we are shooting like cinematic level quality, which isn't 100% coming through here. Motion graphics. Our goal is to be the best looking automotive content on YouTube. And that's hopefully going to lead to growth and followers and subscribers and traffic to the marketplace. And everything we do, where we're installing products on a car, all of that I love this animation.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice.
How much does that cost?
$75,000 a year. I hired the executive producer, and so and the asshole in the video is free. I forgot to mention that this is not a safe space.
About an hour later.
Yeah. Hopefully nobody's offended or upset by my language. So look, yeah, as I was mentioning, we need some help. I am a cheap bastard, so these are unpaid internships, but you will get an opportunity to learn some very, very, very cool things. And we need some help in the studio. And guess what? It's actually kind of fun being in there in the studio with these cool cars. On Friday, I have a Porsche GT3 RS coming into the studio. I saw you smile. And I have a Land Rover SVR coming into the studio. So we're getting actually some of the sweetest cars on the road into this studio. So if any of that interests you, we need help. We need help running power lines, lighting the set, setting up the teleprompter, assisting. And actually, if video production is of any interest to you, and you want an opportunity to work with a producer from HBO, it'll look good on your resume, and you'll be able to point at the videos we created. So if anybody's looking at video stuff. I also need help like managing marketplace and e-commerce data. So there's a lot that goes into building that marketplace, and we need help. Both from sort of organizing data and merchandising through to like analytics and analysis. I also need people who can write, so copywriting for scripts for video as well as like blog posts, which are kind of go hand in hand too, because we can trickle down. And then copywriting for e-commerce, like product descriptions, page descriptions, category descriptions, and then graphic design, if anybody has those skills, like creating single page ads, one-pagers, flyers, all kinds of cool stuff like that. So my business card is up here, and there's stickers you guys are welcome to grab. I have black, white, red, gray, and hot pink. All right, and yeah, that's, I think, probably time,
Yeah,
right? You guys don't want to know.
Cool. Thank you, Alex. Well, that concludes our meeting, and I'm surprised, I'm also surprised everyone's still here. Okay. Cool. That's it for week 1, guys. Welcome back. Happy New Year.